Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Even though any day is a good day to remember Srila Prabhupada, I also know many of us were in temples when Prabhupada left his body in a very devastated state, and some might have been in India too when Prabhupada left. So I like to just go back a little bit and put myself in that mood and remember what it felt like. So I was just going to read something from Giriraj Swami, remembering he was there in the room when Srila Prabhupada passed away. He said, by afternoon, Prabhupada had fallen into an internal state of consciousness, and devotees placed tulsi leaves in Yamuna water by his head. The room resounded with kirtan, and the doors were open to everyone. The room was packed. Young, old, men, women, all were allowed to be in with Prabhupada and express their love. Several times Pishma asked Prabhupada, have you eaten anything? But he did not respond, and she poured a few drops of Ganges water in his mouth. The Kaviraj said that Prabhupada had only 2 or 3 hours left. Pujaris brought tulsi flower garlands from Krishna Balaram and placed them on the pillow around Prabhupada's head. The devotees continued chanting and praying. There was nothing else we could do. When a final attack came at 3 p.m., Prabhupada rubbed his head quickly back and forth across his heart. Upendra massaged his heart, and Tamal Krishna sat holding his feet, and for the next 4 hours, Prabhupada was peaceful. I was at the head of the bed, wishing I could have one last chance to serve Prabhupada in his bodily form. Suddenly, he threw back his arm, and I was able to touch his hand and squeeze it gently. He had fulfilled my desire. I was grateful, satisfied, even amidst the overwhelming sorrow. As Prabhupada's departure drew closer, the kirtan led by Bharadraj became more and more intense, sung, as Shakti Mata later recalled, in a kind of unusual chorus of 2 parts, in a way that we never sang before. Some devotees were singing Jaya Prabhupada, while others were chanting the Maha Mantra, and somehow the 2 blended together in the most perfectly beautiful way. We don't sound like this, I thought. This isn't coming from us. It was like the room had no ceiling, like all the bricks and beams had dissolved, and the whole room was open in a direct current to the spiritual world as Krishna's messengers came for Srila Prabhupada. At 7:25, Prabhupada opened his eyes and moved his lips as if speaking Hare Krishna, and then his jaw dropped, his complexion darkened, and he went still. Our beloved Srila Prabhupada had departed, Tamal Krishna wrote in his diary. He had been surrounded by loving disciples, chanting the holy names of Krishna, lying peacefully on his bed in Ramanreti, Vrindavan, the sacred land where Krishna and his friends used to sport. His head was pointing toward the deities of Krishna Balaram, his forehead decorated with chandan, and a large tulsi leaf with photos of them and Radha Krishna and pictures of Lord Nrsimhadev and Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj nearby. A volume of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita laid beside his pillow. Holding tulsi in his right hand, he had departed and returned to the lotus feet of Krishna, from whence he had come. It was 7:25 p.m. on Gaur Chaturthi Titi, the 4th day of the light half of the moon of Kartik, 5 minutes after the beginning of Amrita Yoga, the most auspicious time of the day. 7:25, Bharadraj wrote in his journal, Prabhupada enters my heart in a flood of tears. The sun of the world has set. The shelter of the world has entered Vaikuntha. Harinam continues on and on. So then he just describes the room. Everyone was crying and wailing, and the kirtan was going wild. And it said, he writes this amazing thing about how they took Prabhupada around Vrindavan. That morning, the residents of Vrindavan awaited their last darshan of the great Acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, who had spread Vrindavan's glories throughout the world. At 7:30, the Goswamis of the 7 main temples arrived. They came to Krishna Balaram Mandir to escort Prabhupada's divine form to their respective deities. So imagine they came out of their temples to bring Prabhupada. He was sitting on the Vyasasana. They had arranged for him to be sitting up, and they took Prabhupada to each of their temples. He was sitting straight up, legs crossed, wearing his hat and chadar in his flower-decorated palanquin, covered with garlands offered by disciples the night before. Narayan Maharaj led kirtan as we brought Prabhupada into the courtyard, again circumambulated his body 4 times, and began our procession with uproarious chanting Maha Sankirtan. Rajabasis came out from their homes and shops to watch, standing on steps and balconies and alongside the road, calling out Jai Prabhupada. to honor Vrindavan's favorite son, most famous saint, and international ambassador. All these hundreds of people came from nowhere, Rajesh Kara recalled. I couldn't figure out how everyone had heard about the procession or even how they had heard that Prabhupada had left. I had never seen Vrindavan in such a mood. Everyone came out to pay homage. Wherever we went, the rooftops were packed. As we approached each temple, the head pujari would come out to receive Prabhupada, and the kirtan would rise to a crescendo, and they would chant, Jai Madan Mohan, Jai Radha Damodar, Jai Radha Raman, glorifying each deity, and then Jai Prabhupada. Even submerged in an ocean of grief, we devotees also felt proud to be disciples of such an illustrious, exalted, empowered guru. So it's just, all the devotees who were there have written memoirs, and they all have something about it in their books, and it's really powerful to read and remember what it was like also at the end of Prabhupada being with us. And I was thinking how everything has gone on so much, even, expanded exponentially since Prabhupada has departed, and how we associate with Prabhupada still every day through prayer and gratitude and reflection and kirtanam, reading about him and reading his books. Srila Prabhupada is an equal opportunity guru, the Jagat Guru, Param Guru, the Shaktivesh avatar, glorified by devotees and lay people, even the world over, by rich and by poor, by famous people, by political leaders. Prabhupada is appreciated and glorified. If you love Prabhupada, he will love you back. If you pray to serve him, he will reveal what he wants you to do. So that is what I do every day. Just pray somehow to be useful to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.